Hello students, today I am going to take new chapter 7th standard basic science 4th chapter through the elementary canal. Okay, through the elementary canal. Before going to this lesson, all we know that organisms need food to live. Yes, no? All organisms need food to live. Do you think, students, all organisms eat same kinds of food? All organisms eat same food? Yes or no? No. All organisms eat different types of food. Yes, no? Yes, it is different, various from organisms to organisms. Yes, no? Yes, all organisms eat different types of food. Today I am going to discuss it with the different mode of organisms take in food and what is a nutrition and how it takes place. Take an example, caterpillar. In your textbook have that diagram. Once again observe that diagram. Take an example of caterpillar, which is young ones of butterfly. How does it eat the food? It nibbles. Yes, no? Yes. If you take the example of lion, how does it take food? First what do? First it will kill the animals, then tear the flesh animals. Yes, no? Yes. Then again, if you take the example cow, how does it eat the food? It chew the grass. Then if you take the example butterfly, you know that how does it eat the food? Suck the nectar of the flower. Yes, no? Yes. Next one, you take the example human beings. How does it eat the food? We will take the food our mouth and bite with the teeth and chew it and swallow. Yes, no? That all different mode of organism take in food. Understood now? Yes. Once again observe the picture in your textbook. Okay. Next, we are going to next topic, nutrition in plants. Nutrition in plants. What is a nutrition? What is a nutrition? It is a process. It is the process of intake of food. It is the process of intake of food and utilization by the organism. It is called as nutrition. Understood? What is nutrition? Nutrition, it is the process of intake of food and utilization by the organism. It is called as nutrition. How you taking food and how utilization food in our body, that is called neutralization. Yes, no? What is the nutrition in plants? Nutrition in plants. You know that plants can prepare own food through the process is called photosynthesis. Yes, no? Already you learned in lower classes. Yes, no? What is a photosynthesis? Plants can prepare own food through the process is called as photosynthesis. What is a photo? Photosynthesis is the combination of two words. Yes, no? One photo, another one synthesis. Photo plus synthesis. What is a photo? Photo means light. What is synthesis means? To make. Yes, no? Who preparing food? Plant. Plant can prepare own food through the process. Yes, no? Through the process is called as photosynthesis. What are the requirement need for photosynthesis? What are the requirement need for photosynthesis? One, carbon dioxide. Yes, no, that is important things. Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, that is main things, main requirement for photosynthesis. Yes, no, what is the requirement need for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Then what are the product we get? What are the product we get? One, glucose and oxygen. Yes, no, plants can preparing own food using carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. That process called as photosynthesis. Correct now. Then what we are get? What are the product we get? Glucose and oxygen. Yes, no. Glucose stored in our body. Plants only using glucose. But oxygen, who using oxygen? Human beings. Yes, no. Yes. Photosynthesis means plants can prepare own food using carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. That process is called as photosynthesis. Understood now? What is a photosynthesis? Then, photosynthesis, plants can prepare own food. In which part using preparing food plant? That is leaf. Okay, leaf preparing food, plant leaf, but other part is not using preparing food. Plant leaf only preparing food. Okay, next, organisms. Organisms are classified into two groups. Organisms means what? Organisms means human beings, animals and plants. The organisms are divided into two groups. First one, autotrophs. First one is the autotrophs. Second one is the heterotrophs. What is autotrophs? Autotrophs means the organisms which prepare own food. Organisms which prepare own food is called as autotrophs. What is the example for autotrophs? Green plants. What is the example for autotrophs? Green plants. Okay, plants prepare own food is called as autotrophs. What is the example for autotrophs? Green plants. Then next one, heterotrophs. What is heterotrophs? An organisms depends on other plants. Organisms which depends on other plants. It is called as heterotrophs. For example, human beings. Yes, no. Human beings and animals depending on other. What is the example for heterotrophs? Human beings and animals. What is the heterotrophs? An organisms which depends upon the other plants or other organisms. It is called as heterotrophs. Example, human beings and animals. Okay, we directly or indirectly depending upon the directly or indirectly depending upon the organisms, other organisms like plants, animals and human beings also. Yes, no. Yes. Then next topic, heterotrophs are classified into three groups. Heterotrophs are classified into three types. What is that? One, total parasite. Total parasite. Second one, partial parasite. Third one, saprophytes. Heterotrophs are classified into three groups. First one, total parasite. Second one, partial parasite. Third one, saprophytes. What is a parasite? Parasites are organisms. Yes, no. Parasites are organisms. They obtained food from other organisms. They obtained food from other organisms. They live inside the body of organisms or they live external body of organisms. Understood now? What is a parasite? Parasite means organisms. Parasites means are organisms. They obtain food from other organisms. They live inside the body of organisms or they live outside the body of organisms. What is the example for external parasite and internal parasite? External, inside the body. Okay, inside the body and outside the body. Outside means external parasite. External parasite means outside the body. They live outside the body of organisms. Internal parasite means internal, inside the body of organisms. What is the example for external parasite? Lice and flea. Lice, L-I-C-E, lice and flea. Lice and flea, external parasite. Flea live on live on the head of the human beings. Yes, now that is external parasite, lice and flea. And internal parasite, for example, tapeworm and hookworm. Tapeworm and hookworm are example for internal parasite living inside the body. Understand now? External parasite example lice or flea, and internal parasite for example tapeworm and hookworm. Okay, and next one, what is a total parasite? Total parasite. What is a total parasite? These are plants which depends upon the host plant. These are the plants which completely depends. Here total parasite. These are the plants which completely depends upon the host plant. What is a host plants? Host plant means in which they live. Okay, in which they live. What is the example for total parasite? Cuscuta and Loranthus. Cuscuta and Loranthus, they absorb. Cuscuta and Loranthus, they absorb water and minerals of the plant in which they live. Okay, other plants what prepare, they can also take food. Okay, what is the main meaning of total parasite? Other plants what prepare, they can take food. Okay, example for Cuscuta and Loranthus. Next one, what is a partial parasite? What is a partial parasite? Partial parasite means these are the plants which does not completely depends upon the plant. Host plant which does not completely depends upon the host plant. Okay, that is called as partial parasite. What is the example for partial parasite? One, sandalwood. Sandalwood is the example for partial parasite. During the initial stage for the growth, it takes water and minerals from the root of other plants. Okay, after when they grow into the adult stage, they can synthesize their own food. Okay, during the initial stage for the growth, what happened? Sandalwood, it absorbs the water and minerals from the root of the other plants. Okay, after when they grow into the adult stage, they can synthesize their own food. Okay, that is an example for a sandalwood tree. Okay, that is called a partial parasite. Then last one, saprophyte. What is the meaning of saprophyte? Saprophyte means which depends on dead or decaying matter. Saprophytes means, what is the meaning of saprophytes? Which depends on dead or decaying matter, decaying organic matters. example for monotropa. Monotropa, it take food from dead or decaying matter. Okay, dead and decaying matter. For example, mushroom also. Example for saprophytes. Okay, here already mentioned monotropa, and another one example also mushroom. Okay, then that is classification of heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are classified into three groups. One total parasite, example Cuscuta and Loranthus. Second one partial parasite, example sandalwood tree. And third one saprophytes, example for monotropa. Next one, every year school is providing in tablet. Every year school is providing in tablet to kill the tapeworm and hookworm, because when it happens, we take the food that taken by which one, tapeworm and hookworm. Okay, every year school is providing in tablet to kill the hookworm and tapeworm, because when it happens we take food that taken by tapeworm and hookworm. We not get sufficient nutrients and sufficient amount of food, but we will become weak. So government what do? The government has every year given to school for children to take the tablet to kill the hookworm and tapeworm. This is the 6-month course. Okay, and next topic is insectivorous plants. What is that? Insectivorous plants. What is the insectivorous plants? Example, Venus flytrap, sundew plant and pitcher plant. That is all example for insectivorous plants. Understood now? What is the insectivorous plants? Venus flytrap, sundew plant and pitcher plant. They have trapped the insect. Okay, this insectivorous plants trap the insects, and they have chlorophyll, and they can synthesize own food. Okay, insectivorous plants trap the insects, and they have a chlorophyll, and they can synthesize their own food. But why insectivorous plant trap insects? Yes, no. Why insectivorous plants trap insects? Okay, plants need some elements for the growth. Which element? Carbon, hydrogen. Yes, no. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus and potassium and nitrogen also. Yes, no. Plants need some elements. Why need elements? Plant require carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, potassium and nitrogen. For which purpose? For growth, plant growth. Yes, no? Yes. And but some plants absorb, that capacity is there. In some plants absorb carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus and potassium. But a plant cannot absorb nitrogen. Okay, plant ability to absorb carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus and potassium, but cannot ability to absorb nitrogen. Why? Why means some bacteria is there. The bacteria, which bacteria? The bacteria called nitrogen fixing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria like Rhizobium, Nitrobacter, etc. Okay, bacteria called nitrogen fixing bacteria like Rhizobium and Nitrobacter. So these bacteria helps to absorb nitrogen from atmosphere, but plants that nitrogen present in our atmosphere, but these plants, in insectivorous plants, cannot absorb nitrogen from atmosphere, but bacteria, which bacteria? Nitrogen fixing bacteria like rhizobium and nitrobacter absorb nitrogen from atmosphere and convert it into nitrates. Okay, bacteria absorb nitrogen from atmosphere that converted into nitrates. Then that nitrates get dissolved in a soil. So what happened now? As a result, plant can absorb nitrogen from soil and that nitrogen enter into the body. Yes, no? Yes. But why does insectivorous plants trap insects? Insectivorous grow in which soil? High acidic in soil. But bacteria cannot live high acidic in soil. Insectivorous plants grow in high acidity in the soil, but bacteria cannot live high acidity in the soil. But these insectivorous plants absorb carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, but nitrogen absorb from insects. Understood now? Plants also absorb nitrogen from insects, but atmospheric nitrogen cannot absorb plants. But nitrogen is important for growth of plants. Understood now? Plants, every plants also need nitrogen, but nitrogen present in our atmosphere cannot absorb the nitrogen from atmosphere. But insectivorous plants absorb nitrogen from insects. Okay? Yes. Understood now? All of you? Yes. Once again repeating, different mode of organisms. Yes, no? All organisms eat food, but not same food. Yes, no? It's different, varies from organisms to organisms. Next one, nutrition. What is a nutrition? It is the process of intake of food and utilization by the organism is called nutrition. Then nutrition in plants. Yes, no? What is nutrition in plants means? Plants preparing food. Plants can preparing own food using photosynthesis. Yes, no? What are the requirement using for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Yes, no? Then organisms divided into two groups. One autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs means plants can prepare own food. Example for green plants. Then heterotrophs cannot prepare own food, but depending on other plants, other organisms. Example animals and human beings. Next, heterotrophs again classified into three types. First one, total parasite, partial parasite and saprophytes. What is example for total parasite? Cuscut and loranthus. Then what is a partial parasite and example for partial parasite? Sandalwood. Next, what is a saprophytes? Saprophytes which depends on dead and decaying matter. Yes, no. Example for monotropa, it takes food from dead and decaying matter. Then external parasite and internal parasite. External parasite for example for lice and flea, and internal parasite example for tapeworm and hookworm. It is present inside our body, intestine, small intestine. And last one, insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants example for Venus flytrap, sundew plants, pitcher plants. Yes, no. But insectivorous plants absorbing nitrogen directly from atmosphere, but taking absorb nitrogen from insects. Okay. I will continue next class students. Okay.